Its reporter Mike Reese reported yesterday that Tom Brady wrote a letter to the Pro Football Hall of Fame committee on behalf of his former teammate Ty Law. Bill Belichick did the same on behalf of Richard Seymour. Law and Seymour both among the 15 finalists. We will learn Saturday if they make the final cut. So here's a look at the 15 Pro Football Hall of Fame modern era finalists. The list includes 3 first-year eligible players, Tony Gonzalez, Ed Reed, Champ Bailey, but lots of great players alongside head coaches Tom Flores and Don Coryell. The Hall's Board of Selectors meets Saturday here in Atlanta to narrow down the list to a max of 5. As we know, guys, this is a life-changing day. Oh, yeah. Adam, what are you hearing?
I think there are 3 guys that you could punch their tickets right now. Tony Gonzalez, former Falcon and Chief, who played in this city, goes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Champ Bailey, who played at Georgia, not far from here, goes to the Hall of Fame. Ed Reed goes to the Hall of Fame. And then it gets interesting. That's where we're going to have debate. That's where there's going to be a lot of questions being asked. And we'll see which of the other players and coaches get into the Hall of Fame. Also, I think it's about time that Pat Bowlen, the Broncos owner, gets in. He's on the senior recommendation committee. His time should be here as well.
Well, every player mentioned in that list is deserving, in my opinion. Those are great, great players. But my personal experience is with 2 of them, and it's with Ty Law and Richard Seymour. And this Patriots dynasty is still going. And it was the foundation of it all was defense and special teams. Yeah. And these were the 2 guys on our defense that led the way in terms of the big plays and the big games year after year. Ty Law making interceptions, shutting down receivers, and Richard Seymour, a direct benefactor of his. I mean, in terms of playing behind him, made my job so much easier, and he was so disruptive. I'd love to see. I know both is asking too much. I love them. I want them both. But one of them, I'd like to see some representation.
Who was the one defensive teammate you had whose talents blew you away?
It was Ty. It was both of them. Really, can I say both? I mean, I can't say one. I mean, Richard and Ty, their dominance in terms of what they did in different aspects. You know, Richard rushing the passer, stopping the run, and Ty Law taking just over a game in terms of shutting down an area of the field. That's where our foundation was built, right there.
Yeah, big plays. Big play after big play. But I'll say this. The 2 guys that I look at that really set the pace in the 90s as far as the hard-hitting safety, Steve Atwater, not being in the Hall of Fame is a shame. I mean, this is a guy I came up looking at. Steve, he was the big intimidator that he didn't have. You didn't have to. You weren't going to run across the middle because they got a guy like Steve Atwater there. That was a big one. And then John Lynch, another one who I think is deserving to go into the Hall of Fame.
Steve Atwater in Super Bowl 32 played the best game that any safety in any Super Bowl has ever played.
Hold on now. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Hold on now. Wait.
You want to change that?
No.
No.
But Darren Woodson played the second best game that any safety has ever played in his Super Bowl.
And you know, to Teddy's point, Tom Brady said yesterday that those early Super Bowls were all about defense. They leaned on the defense. Now it's more balanced, but those days, so it's going to be fun to see.
But my teammates get to go.
Yeah.
There is some news, and a likely Hall of Famer, probably, if he's a first ballot, 5 years from today, because Panthers pass rusher Julius Peppers announced via the Players Tribune that he is retiring. 17 years and out, he titled it. Panthers following with a confirmation. Peppers wrote, 17 years is a long time to be playing this game. I'm thankful that I have been able to play so long, still be healthy, but as much as I would love to play forever, I know that I can't. Got to end at some point. That point is now. Today I am retiring. Peppers finished his career 4th on the all-time sacks list behind Hall of Famers Bruce Smith, Reggie White, Kevin Green. Also impressive. According to Elias, Peppers has sacked 77 different quarterbacks in his career, tied with Reggie White for the most by any player since sacks became official in 1982. A man of few words, but he had big game, number 2 overall pick by his hometown Panthers. Darren, for you, what made him so special?
His athleticism. Susie, I still remember watching him. First time I ever saw Julius Peppers in a playoff game, we went to Carolina and watched and played the Carolina Panthers. He walked on the field before the game, and I said, they're building them. They're making them different now. They're making them different. The athlete, the NFL athlete has totally changed. This guy is 6'6", 280 pounds, could dunk a basketball between his legs, over his back. He was the most athletic football player that I had ever seen at that time coming in, and he was a dominant football player. He was a workhorse. He only missed a max of 4 or 5 games of his entire career, and this speaks volumes to who Julius Peppers was as a football player.
For what he could do at that size, the longevity he showed. Susie talked about those numbers. I mean, I remember, it's when he was with the Panthers and we're playing that Super Bowl. You look at that D-line and it's like, geez, how are you going to get things done? I mean, this is certain players, in my opinion, just got done talking about the Hall of Fame that have first ballot written all over them. I look at Julius Peppers and it's like, I don't know how you can deny it.
Who plays 17 years at that position, doesn't miss the time that you talked about, produces those type of numbers, and it's fun to just go back and look at it, because if you go back to the draft in which he was in, the #1 pick that year, Houston Texans, David Carr. That's who they take. Number 3, the Detroit Lions, Matt Harrington. Sandwiched by 2 quarterbacks is a Hall of Fame defensive end that goes to Carolina, Chicago, Green Bay, back to Carolina, and forges a Hall of Fame career.
And Darren, you said dunk a basketball. You know, that was his dream. He wanted to be a basketball
player. He played in North Carolina. He was a great basketball player.
His idol was Michael Jordan. I think it all turned out okay, though.
I think so, too.
For Julius Peppers. Yeah, I think so. All right, when we come back, Patrick Mahomes has faced both of the teams competing